It's Ron Reader digs the universe. I'm Ron Reader, and this is Ron Reader Digs the Universe. And tonight, we really need to talk about anti-communism. So, okay, sure, we got AOC, we got Bernie, and that's very cool, but we've also got millions of clueless Nazis thinking that Biden will usher in the Cambodian killing fields, nationalize your comic book and stamp collections, and take candy from your baby. We got widespread discomfort and knee-jerking on both left and right whenever the word Marx or socialism or communism is uttered. It's all so fucked up, and it renders authentic, honest discussions about economics impossible. There are a gazillion ways to do capitalism, from West Germany to Pinochet's Chile, just as there are a gazillion ways to do socialism, from Denmark to the Soviet Union, but we approach the subject like we are talking about a God and Satan, black and white, magical reality. Back in my early episode, Personal Encounters with Minions, I asserted strongly that capitalism, in addition to being an economic system, is also a religion. And if capitalism is about the goodness of the great god Mammon, then surely communism must be about the evil of Satan. And that's how most Americans think about economics, which is to say, we don't think about economics at all. And people who have taken a high school or college macroeconomics course, well, they become really annoying in this context because they all think they've been to seminary. And don't get me started on the businessmen, as in, I'm a businessman and so I know all about economics. Harump! Let me stop you right there, man. You know all about your business, maybe your industry, but you are not going to claim authority that you don't have. Not with me. So you just go fuck yourself. You're not an economist. Dig it? The point is that Americans are all heavily indoctrinated to trust the word capitalism, whatever that's supposed to mean, and to distrust the word communism, regardless of whether it has any good ideas or not. Thus, the American economy, indeed our way of life itself, is a complete disaster, a damnable situation. But when you allow yourself a full ramification view of the fact that corporations and the super wealthy control the nation, and they do, how could you not just fucking admit it? Just fucking admit it. We live in an oligarchic plutocracy, not a democracy. Just fucking admit it. When you just go with that notion, anti-communism is seen in an entirely new light. You see that capitalism is no god. You see that all its benefits, they're rendered instantly problematic. You see that you've been lied to your whole life. Marx doesn't seem so weird, doesn't seem so crazy. And that's the thing. We can argue about Marx's prescriptions for economics if you really want, but to do so would be to miss out on what is to me the more fascinating part of his work, his criticisms of capitalism, which were so spot on in the 19th century that they still reverberate and ring true today here in the 20th century, and we, the nation, desperately need to consider these criticisms fully. It's the only way to save capitalism, if that's what we're going to call our economic system, as FDR well knew back in the 1930s. But the New Deal was a long time ago, and since then red baiting has successfully driven Marx from the marketplace of ideas. When you talk about socialism and communism these days, people think about tanks in Tiananmen Square, or bread lines, or physicists in prison camps. And that's all because of anti-communism. Church of Mammon, capitalism, as religion. We really need to kill this God then. Mammon must die a total death, and hopefully that's gonna take with him the concept of his immortal enemy, Commie Lucifer. Then we can have a conversation. I mean, you know, you don't have to go full-on gay communism and be a big flaming commie or anything like that, you know, but you really ought to listen to what the commies have to say. I'm Ron Reeder, and this has been Ron Reeder Digs the Universe. Join me, Ron Reeder, again next week for another episode of Ron Reeder Digs the Universe. Welcome to Comrade Biden's Communist America, where prostitutes urinate on you, and the word welcome is spelled with a V.